for step number one, what we need to do is brainstorm some niche ideas. I like to just use a trusty old notepad for this. And I will take this notepad and go over to Amazon.com and browse around for products. However, there may be some situations where maybe you know a lot about a specific type of product, and you'd really prefer to be able to build a website about that kind of product instead of going out there and randomly choosing something. It is quite okay if you want to take that approach. It can certainly help you when it comes to building the content for your site. However, if you build more than one site over the course of time, you will find that you eventually run out of niche ideas and you need to go hunting for more. So I do want to show you how I actually go about finding products that I would consider to promote. And this is something that I do on Amazon. So what I'm going to do is actually go on to Amazon and try to find a couple of examples of niche ideas that I can then record to my notepad, and I will use this information as this class progresses. So to begin with, you could obviously try to search for something or do some kind of general browsing where you go through a particular category to find products. You also have access to things like daily deals and even best-selling products. The best-selling products are actually one that I kind of prefer to look at when I'm hunting around for something. If you go into any category like I've just done here through this menu, you can find the best sellers for that category in a link up at the top. Now this is likely nothing new to any of you, but the real question remains, and this is a problem I have seen repeated by a lot of Amazon affiliates over the years that I have been teaching them, is that these best-selling products, while they are popular and they certainly sell online, they likely have a large amount of competition because that is probably what has propelled them into a bestseller status. Unless you're talking about an Amazon product like the Fire TV Stick, for example, where Amazon is obviously going to be running their own promotions on this particular product. Any other kind of product, though, that is on Amazon, if it is a best-selling product, chances are it's getting promoted by a large number of affiliates too. So how do you actually go from taking one of these best-selling product ideas and turning it into a profitable website? And that's actually something that I'm going to be showing you. It's not a question that I can answer in one simple statement, but over the course of this class and even the entire series, you will see exactly how I am accomplishing this these days. So what I'm really looking for here when I am trying to choose a product, because ultimately, if you follow my recommendations with keyword research, you should be able to find a way to target any product that is out there, no matter how much competition may exist on it. So you should really be more focused on choosing a quality product that is actually going to sell. And one of the easiest ways to know that the product sells online is to actually see it in a bestseller list on Amazon. So that alone kind of gives you a little bit of confidence when you go after anything that you see pretty much in the top 100 of any of the main categories that are on Amazon. So now, in addition to looking for things that have obvious sales data to back up the fact that it is a high quality niche, You also want to look at customer feedback to indicate whether the product is a quality product or not, especially if you really don't know much about the products. And then you also want to pay attention to the price of the product. Ultimately, the price of the product is really going to govern how much you are able to make off of a website. If you are limiting yourself to promoting $20 products, $30, $40, $50 products, it's really a little on the difficult side to get a site to start earning a lot more than $50 to $100 a month or so. But if you target things that are $100 and up, it then becomes a lot easier to break that barrier because you're obviously on a commission-based pay scale here. So my $100 product, if I refer a sale on it, if it's an electronics product, for example, I might only earn 4% on that. So that would be about $4 in my pocket for every sale referred. So if I wanted to earn $100 a month, I would have to refer 25 sales on that $100 product. But then if I could increase that to a $500 product, I only need 5 sales in a month to hit that same earnings mark. But you also don't want to kind of go overboard with that. When you get up into extremely high-priced products, it's not very likely that people are going to end up buying it on a snap decision through your website. So I do try to stay under the $500 mark unless I have a really good reason to do so. I might feature one particular really high-priced product on my website, but only if it actually applies to my niche. Like I've done 3D projector websites in the past, and most of them are in the couple $100 range, but then you do have a few that are just jam-packed with features that cost a couple $1,000s. And I put those on the website, and they didn't sell very often, but I did get some random sales on those really high-priced ones. It's just that the $100 to $500 range seems to be the more comfortable range to go after. So what I want to do now is to actually try to browse through some of these products and at least brainstorm some possible niche ideas. At this point, I have nothing set in stone. I'm really doing research to try to figure out what would actually be feasible to build a website to surround. So you can obviously browse through the bestseller categories, and then you also have even more defined categories down below any of them that you can browse through. I recommend drilling down into these categories to a certain extent. However, keep an eye on the review count as you do this. When I work my way down into a category, the review counts tend to get much, much lower because I'm dealing with a more specific type of product. Well, when I start to see something like this, sure, this product might be a best-selling product in this category, but it's really hard to tell how many actual sales are happening on this product because there's only been one review on it. And even for the number 2 product, there's only been one review. So when I start to see this, I start to question whether there really is enough demand for this product to be sold, or it could possibly be a newly released product. For example, if I look at this really expensive Blu-ray, and I think it's a recorder right here, this one isn't showing up here as a hot new release, but this cheaper product that is in the number 1 spot is the number 1 hot new release. So there's a decent chance that this product might actually be getting pretty decent sales, but it's simply a new product. So always consider some factors like that before you dive into anything. But just as a wild example here, if I'm glancing at this bestseller category, I'm really not putting too much weight on anything that I see here. This one looks like it might be a decent selling product, but the price on it is simply so low that I'm not going to get much of a commission from it. So when I reach a category like this, I try to back up a little bit and go a little farther up the chain and maybe work my way into some different categories. You can also kind of reset your search at any point by going back to any department if you want to then try to drill into something else. So I want to kind of look for a higher price product that seems really, really specific, and also something that gives me a unique perspective on trying to sell that product. You have to think about it like this. Anything that you're going to build a website around, you not only are going to have an ad for the product, but you're going to need to have information about that product too. And in a lot of cases, when you're dealing with a high competition niche, you can't directly go after the product name or the model name. As an example, the Kindle Fire, hugely best-selling product on Amazon. But if you were to try to build a website about the Kindle Fire, chances are you'd have a really hard time getting traffic to it, especially if you tried to target things like basic keyword phrases like Amazon Kindle or Kindle Fire HD. But if you're dealing with a type of product that is more than just a frivolous expenditure, so to speak, something that is solving a problem for somebody, these products get into the realm of having a lot more content that you can really write about it. So you kind of want to be on the lookout for also something that has a lot of information connected to it. As an example, here on my screen, I'm seeing nice product prices dealing in the $100 to $200 neighborhood. These products also have decent reviews on them, and a fair number of them. And they are also showing up here in a bestseller list. But it doesn't seem to be as simple of a niche as tablet computers, for example. These, I would assume, are used for hunting. I'm not a hunter myself. However, I've built websites about things that I've never even seen in person before, things that I really have no personal knowledge about. So I can kind of look at a potential product and decide whether or not that product would have a lot of extra information relating to it. I can imagine that hunting is not as straightforward as it might seem, especially with newer technological advances. I'm sure you have all different kinds of products that are out there and different reasons why you would want to use them, different problems essentially that they would help to solve for those hunters. In this situation, these are night vision products. These can help to solve an obvious problem, which is being able to see. We're simply limited when it comes to our eyesight, but there might be certain game that maybe is only out at night. So I know simply from that basic assumption of hunting that this could be a nice niche to go after. And it could also have a lot of information connected to it that would allow me to build content for my site. So I'm going to pick one of these here. This one looks kind of interesting, and it has a really high range of prices to go along with it. I'm going to record it for now. It is a night vision monocular. I also like the fact that the product is maybe a little different in terms of the keyword phrase that somebody would use to go looking for it, as opposed to a more common keyword phrase within this same category. A hunting scope, for example, I'm sure would have a lot more competition on it than a more unique type of product like a night vision digital monocular. So this kind of helps me to get away from some of the competition that might be in a niche while still sticking to keyword-based targeting in terms of what the product is actually doing, what the product brand or model might be. All these different aspects can be keywords that you can target with your content and then to try to get a search engine ranking for it. Now, I also like the idea here of this kind of more modern technology. It's given me a little bit of an idea to go a little deeper. I don't know if there might be something in this particular category or not for it. It reminded me, though, of a show I caught randomly one time. I think it was Finding Bigfoot, where they're running around with their little thermal cameras. So again, this could be something. I'll go up to the camera thing. And just out of curiosity, I'm going to search for thermal cameras and see what comes up. So just random ideas that pop into your head can sometimes be worthwhile exploring on Amazon to see what kind of products are out there. Maybe not for a professional, but more for the average everyday consumer. Looking at the products that are available here, this kind of looks more like something the professional, quote, Bigfoot hunter would actually be trying to use. It's pretty expensive. It's a $1,000 product. But there looks to be a pretty decent amount of activity in terms of sales on this product. So this could be something worthwhile pursuing potentially. This one has also caught my eye, and it appears as though there might be a number of different types of them as well. Actually, looking at it a little closer, I think the top 5 here in these search results are all for smartphones. So we have thermal imaging for smartphones. And this picture that they're showing you gives me a really great idea for how you can go about targeting something like this. This helps to solve a problem for people. You have areas where there's high crime, where you have a lot of home break-ins and things like that. Some people live alone and, might be a little scared entering their home, wondering whether or not somebody could actually be inside of it. But what if you could just pull out your smartphone and hold it up and look at your house real quick and know automatically, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there's no one in there, that you're completely safe. Something like this could have real value for the average consumer, and it has unique ways that you could go about targeting it. And based on the number of reviews that I'm seeing for these products, it looks like it's something that actually sells pretty well too. So it's not just speculation of mine that these might actually be useful to people. There's real data here to kind of back up that speculation too. So I'm going to add this one to my list, and we will come back to it in just a few and take another peek. So now I have found one type of product by browsing through the bestseller list. I've also found another product that just came to me in terms of an idea off the top of my head. And then I also want to talk to you about going after something that you might have some personal knowledge about. For me, I recently had some computer malfunctions and I did some hardware upgrades. And in addition to what I needed to fix it, I went a little beyond that to make my computer simply more reliable and to allow it to perform better. One of the things that I did that I've seen the most improvement from for the amount that I spent for the item was actually a solid state hard drive. So based on my own personal experiences, I know that this product helps to solve problems. I also know that it has a decent price tag to it because I bought one myself. They can be anywhere from $50 upwards of thousands of dollars if you get into the ones with a lot of storage capacity that are really, really high speed, even though those are more for corporate applications and not really for the home user. But as a home user, one that has tried this product myself and has found a lot of benefit from it, I feel like there's a lot of things that I could share with people about this product that would help to save them time, help direct them to the right product, and ultimately to help solve problems for them. So this is another one that I'm going to add on to my list. I'm just going to put SSD for now, which stands for solid state drive. So with these three topics now, night vision monocular, thermal imaging camera, and solid state drive, I can take this information and proceed on to the next portion. You can see here, I went to Amazon, I browsed for my products, and I have now created a list of my potential niches that I want to try to target.